Assalamu alaikum everyone. So in this week's project class, we discussed the types of oceans and animals that inhabit them. So let's learn about the ocean habitats. So how many oceans are there? So there are 5 oceans of the world. We have Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. And while we were having the discussion in the class, one child asked that which ocean is the biggest. And to answer that question, it's the Pacific. Pacific is the largest ocean of the world. So there are massive variations in the different ocean temperatures and the amount of light that they receive. That means that we know that sunlight cannot reach the deep, dark surface of the ocean. But even then, some oceans do not even get enough sunlight because some of them might be covered in ice or because of some other reasons. So because of this, they're home to a large number of species. So that means that the types of creatures that inhabit the different oceans are different based on their temperature and the amount of light that they receive. And some creatures which live in oceans have gills so that they can breathe underwater. We discussed this in class, like fish, while others are able to hold their breath for a long period of time and can come up to the surface to breathe once in a while. So many plants that live in the oceans have adapted to survive with less sunlight than the plants that live on land. The plants that we have forests on land that require sunlight and water and soil to grow and flourish, while in the water habitats, the plants that live and survive there do not need enough sunlight. And that's okay. They've gotten used to that habitat. And ocean surface cover nearly 71% of the Earth's surface. So let's find out what we can find in the Pacific Ocean. Kelp forests are found in the Pacific Ocean, and they are ecosystems and they're home to a large number of species. So just like the forests that we have, the forest habitat on land, and they're home to a lot of squirrels and birds, etc. Just like that, kelp forests are home to large number of creatures that live under the sea. Now, manta rays. So you have a project assigned for the weekend to do your research on, since most of you were really interested to find out what manta rays are and how do they differ from stingrays. So manta rays are adapted to the warm temperature. The shape of their wings allowed them to glide in the water. Manta rays are filter feeders, which mean that they suck in water, which contains the planktons, and then they push all the water out of their gills while leaving the planktons for them to eat. And this is one of the sea creatures that you guys found really fascinating, and you can further do your research on. We'll talk more about it in our next class. And also orcas. Those are called killer whales. They are also the predators of the Pacific Oceans. This means they are at top of the food chain. We discussed food chain in the class also, that how the grasshopper eats the grass and then grasshopper is eaten by the bird, and then a bigger creature might eat the bird, and just like that the food cycle continues. For example, a fox or a cat might eat a bird, and when it dies, it gets decomposed and mixed into the soil, and new grass grows. So this is the food chain, or the circle of life. So they're at the top of this food chain. And threats to the orcas include a lack of food due to disease, over-farming of the prey, and pollution. So who's the cause of over-farming of the fish and pollution? That was the question that was posed for you guys in the class. And yes, us humans are the cause of a lot of destruction that's being caused in Earth. So we have to be very, very careful about what we do to our environment. Okay, so this orca is the second creature that you were interested to do your research on. So you can look it up and find out some more interesting facts about it. And then we'll do our research and we'll do our discussion in the next class. So let's see what lives in the Atlantic Ocean. So manatee. they are found in Atlantic Ocean, which is really, really cold. The water there is really cold. Manatees glide through the ocean smoothly and are known to swim at the speed of 24 kilometers per hour. So what do? They, of course, they are one of those animals that do not have gills and they need to come up to the surface to breathe. So they can only survive under the water for 20 minutes. And what did they do is that they slow down their heart rate while while they dive in search for food. And that helps them conserve the oxygen. Let's see what else can we find in the Atlantic Ocean. Plankton. Remember we just um, talked about it, that manta rays eat the planktons, which are called phytoplanktons. They are single-celled plants that cannot be seen from our naked eye. So we need a microscope to see this picture in front of our screen. You will need a microscope. You will not be able to look at it from your eyes. And what they do is they convert sunlight into energy using photosynthesis. So these are also found in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, a ghost crab. So Atlantic Oceans also have ghost crab. And their color is all white, thus the name, the ghost crab. And what they do is that they camouflage themselves. And then they hide in the sand so that it basically protects them from the predators. Atlantic ghost crabs burrow down into the sand during the day. And at night, they come out and search for food. So this is it for today. And since most of our class was discussion based and you guys were interested in finding out what happened to the Megalodon and the manta rays and the okras, so we'll take this discussion forward and talk more about the research that you have done over the weekend in our next class. Learn about the other types of oceans also. So this is it. See you in the next class. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Allah Hafiz.